everyone. So I hadn't actually planned to film this video, and today is Sunday. It's the 15th of December 2019. Sunday is usually the day that I get to film a couple of videos in the morning because Tommy takes Rupert to his swimming lesson. I already knew one video that I was going to film, and I was trying to think of something else that I felt in the mood to film when I got a notification come up on Facebook about a picture that I posted 3 years ago, which reminded me that it has been 3 years and 1 day since I had weight loss surgery. So I had the surgery on the 14th of December 2016, and the picture that came from my Facebook was a picture of a bouquet of flowers that my dad and sister bought me when they came to visit me in hospital. And I rang Tom and I said, can you believe it's been 3 years? And I said, I don't know whether to film about it or not and film an update, because this is something that I never talk about. It's not even something that I talk about to Tom. I don't talk about it amongst my friends or my family. It only ever really comes up if someone asks me a question about it. And some of you watching this will already be aware that I had that surgery 3 years ago. Some of you, I'm sure it will be a shock and that you won't know. If you scroll back far enough on my channel, you'll see the videos, and also on my Instagram you'll see that I posted about it quite a lot at the time. But when I had the surgery, when I was choosing to have the surgery, I never did it, and after I'd had it, I never felt like I wanted to be an advocate for it, and I didn't want it to be something that I talked about openly and a lot on my platform. Obviously I'm happy to talk about my experience and my journey, but it's not, I never wanted any of my accounts to become weight loss accounts or gastric sleeve accounts or anything like that. So it's something that at the time I documented, and then since then I've just gotten on with it. And I get messages quite often from people that are thinking about having the surgery or that have had the surgery, and we'll talk about it privately, but it's not something that I ever am very vocal about, because to be honest, since having Rupert and since becoming pregnant, it's something, well no, since having Rupert, it's something that I've really struggled with. And when I made the decision to have the surgery, which I'll go talk about what it is and everything like that in a minute, although there are a lot of videos talking about it. I think I did a video when I decided to have it and why, and then updates just after it on how I was feeling, and I think I did a 6-month update, something that I've really struggled with. So basically I'll just give a little bit of background to any of you that don't know anything about it, just so that this video kind of makes sense before I really delve into the subject. But I was always a bigger girl, always. From the minute that I can remember, it was when my nana passed away. I started a really unhealthy relationship with food, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember like going to the shop and buying a full packet of Twixes, like the 8 or 12 packs, and eating the entire thing in one sitting, and it just went from there really. And whenever I was sad I would eat, and I just put on an awful lot of weight. And for me, this surgery at the start was about losing the stones to be healthier. It wasn't so much a materialistic thing, it was more the health side of things. Me and Tom at the time had spoken so much about having a baby and starting a family, and for me, I just kept saying to him, I will when I've lost 5 stone. I will when I've lost 5 stone, which I know isn't like the healthiest way to look at it and put a number on that, but that's who I was back then, and that is what my reaction would be. I just wanted to be able to run around after him or her. We didn't know back then, obviously. I'm finding this quite difficult because I don't know how much to be honest about how I felt about my weight and myself at the time without offending anybody or coming across in the wrong way. This is why I struggle to talk about it, not only because I struggle with it for myself, but also because it's such a kind of taboo subject, that it's so kind of controversial, and there's so many opinions on not just weight loss surgery but weight loss in itself and body image and body confidence and everything like that. And I could sit and talk for hours and hours. I've got so many blog posts in my drafts on my blog that I've never published, but basically I was in a really dark place throughout 2015 and 2016, and I was so depressed and has struggled so much with anxiety, and it was all linked to my weight, and no matter what I did, I couldn't shift it. I did everything that you would think of, diets. I did the Cambridge weight plan, which I think is now the 1-to-1 diet, which is like shakes and stuff. I did Weight Watchers, I went to see my GP, I tried exercise, nothing would shift it. And it was just an ongoing cycle, and I researched the surgery, and that was the route that I went down in the end. So I had gastric sleeve surgery in December 2016. Everything about why I chose that procedure, how I did it, why I went for it, it's all in another video. I'll link it down below. This is more of an update of how I am now, because I saw it this morning, it reminded me, and I thought, why not? So I lost, from having the surgery, about 6 stone. I went from 16 stone 10, just I think it was about that, to 10 stone. I'd never ever been so slim, but for me it was never about the obviously it was to do with what I looked like, but the most part for me was health and just being a healthy weight. When I started when the stone started shifting off, I stopped weighing myself, and it was just more so when I went to see my surgeon that I would have the checkup that he would weigh me. It was more how I was fitting in clothes and how I felt in myself, as much as what it said on the scales. I think that's a much healthier way of doing it whenever it comes to anything to do with weight, personally. And then I had about a year where I lost, a couple of years I think, was it? No, maybe about a year, where I'd gotten down and I was a size, I think I'd gotten into a size 10. I was so much more confident, I was so much more happier. Honestly, it changed my life. It has changed my life. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I feel like I'm rambling quite a lot because I'm quite nervous, and I didn't make any notes or anything. I just thought I'd sit here and chat to you all about it quite openly. But I had that year where I don't know, I was the same person. I feel like if you know me at all personally, and or if you watched my videos before and you watch them now, or any of my friends and family will say that I was the same person. I just looked different and was just happier in myself and more confident. And then we decided to start for a family, to start trying for a baby, and which was a big thing for me because I mentioned before we wanted to start a family, but for me my health was such a massive thing that I just said to Tom, I can't be pregnant how I am now. I need to lose weight, I need to be healthier and happier. I can't go on like this, I can't carry on like this. Gastric sleeve surgery, basically, I'm waffling, they removed 85% of my stomach, and it means that my portion sizes are a lot less, and I lost the weight through that, basically, because you eat a lot less. A lot of the one of the main hormones, the hunger hormones that's in your stomach, they actually remove as well with that, so you feel hungry less. And I was going to the gym. It wasn't ever an easy fix, ever. I can say that now for 100% for sure. I remember when I first went public and mentioned on my channel that I was having this surgery, I lost so many followers because they thought that I was going to change, that it was an easy way out. They were disappointed in me, but let me tell you, it was not easy. It was honestly one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. I'd never had any surgery before, and then afterwards the adjustment to my diet, you start off on liquids and then you go on to purees, and then you introduce salted food. If there's any questions or anything like that, anything that you want to know, I will go into more detail, but I don't really know why I'm making this, to be honest. I just thought I would have a little bit of a chat about it. I had a pureed Christmas dinner the first year after surgery, in 2016, and then gradually you just are going back to eating normal foods, and you have to still be careful. You can't eat, you know, it's not, if I eat pizza it's going to put more weight on than if I eat a piece of chicken and have some broccoli on the side. It just means I eat a lot less of it, so you still have to watch what you eat. It's just that my portion sizes are less, And I have to be careful with things like ice cream, like really high sugar food, dairy. I have to be careful how much I consume, and it's all just about management of it. But now I'm so used to it and I know what my boundaries and my limitations are, I don't even think about it on the day-to-day. And then I fell pregnant with Rupert, and I was monitored during pregnancy. I think I did do a pregnancy and gastric sleeve update actually, but I was monitored during pregnancy, but everything was fine. I just had to kind of up my vitamins I take, but that was that really. And then I had Rupert, and that is when the fun started. So I now currently am 2 stone heavier than pre-pregnancy, if that makes sense. A lot of my weight now that I put on was after having Rupert. It wasn't actually while I was pregnant with Rupert, because we had a baby and boy, that's difficult. And I would just sit. Now, one thing that obviously the surgery means you eat smaller portions, but with snacking and sweet stuff you can still shovel that in. So that's one thing that they say, if you've got a sweet tooth, gastric sleeve probably isn't one of the most recommended ones, because it's still quite easy to eat a small packet of buttons, which isn't going to fill you up. Quite easy to eat, super tasty, but obviously very high in calories and sugar, and everything that is going to put the weight on. And after having Rupert, I have just eaten biscuits and chocolate, and I don't, for my meals I might just grab a slice of toast. I haven't really been looking after myself properly. I haven't been following what my nutritionist would tell me to follow, and one of the reasons why I've not spoken out about it is because I do like to have a bit of a joke on Instagram and be honest about the fact that a packet of rich tea has got me through the day. I do like to go to nice places to eat and try different places to eat and show that I've had a Chinese for my tea. Now, I have like the smallest portion from the Chinese. If we get a pizza, I have 1 slice with a few wedges on the side. But I don't constantly like to be repeating myself and showcasing that that is because I had weight loss surgery, because obviously there's days where I eat, I'll have like Weetabix for my breakfast, and I'll have a chicken for my lunch, and you know, fish for my tea, and I'll have healthy days. When I'm on it, and I know the right foods that I should be eating and the wrong foods that I should be eating. But I just feel like I feel like people might look at me now and be like, hang on a minute, didn't she have weight loss surgery? Because I feel like I've put on so much weight, which is crazy, because I am still so much smaller than I was before surgery, and I know it's all in my head. And most days I am completely fine with my body and how I look. I've had a baby, he is just over a year old now, and some days I need those biscuits to get me through. I'm still human, I'm still normal. I just had a procedure which the way I look at it is that it saved my life. I was so low that I feel like if I was still that person now, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have what I've got. We wouldn't have Rupert. And it's a really tough one to talk about, and I have made an absolute shambles of this video. I'm not really sure that I've got my point across whatsoever, but basically I had weight loss surgery. I lost best part of almost 7 stone. I put a couple back on because I had a baby, and this is where we are. Sometimes I feel like I had such a short space of time to get used to my new body before I was pregnant, which I wouldn't change because obviously we have Rupert. But I didn't get very long in as that person, if that makes sense, before we fell pregnant. And sometimes I think I'm never gonna get back there. I should have enjoyed her and appreciated her when I got there, because I've had a baby now and my body's never gonna get back to that. And some days I really struggle with the thinking of that I have had weight loss surgery, and that I had that because I struggled so much to lose weight. Am I ever going to lose what I feel like I have to lose now? I know we all have body hang-ups and we all struggle so much with stuff like this, and most people every so often that I know do. And it's just one of those things. It's just, this is my reality, I guess. Sometimes I look at myself and think, God, I had this surgery so that I wouldn't have days like this where I feel like this, and then I have to remind myself that I'm human. I've had a baby. There's still plenty of time, and I just need to get my head back in the zone when I want it to be there. I feel like it's December and it's the worst month for any of this talk, isn't it? And that January is, you know, new year, new me. But at the moment I don't get time. I don't get time to think about what I'm eating or going to the gym, because Rupert's at home all the time. He's not in nursery yet, and it's just crazy busy. We don't stop. Still, I'm very careful. Basically, with the gastric sleeve, they recommend that you don't eat at the same time that you eat, that you leave a bit of an interval so that you're not so that you're not full on liquid when you should be eating the nutritional meal. And I still stick to that. I know there's some people that are years out of surgery that I can have both together, but for me it doesn't quite work. So and then I just stick to smaller portion sizes, and I try to be good where chocolate and biscuits are concerned. And I know that I need to get out there and do more exercise, and I know that I should be eating better foods and different foods. But at the moment, this is my reality. I look at it sometimes as survival. It's just getting through the day to day. At the moment, it is very much that it is so hard. It's not just a physical or a health thing for me. It's up here. Sometimes I feel like when I don't mention it on Instagram or on YouTube and I don't talk about it, and I'm posting that I'm going to a restaurant or that I've had a pudding, that I am kind of deceiving you all by not always mentioning that, oh yes, I did have weight loss surgery. It's just a tricky one, really. It is a massive part of my life, because I don't think that I would be here if I hadn't had it, openly and honestly. I don't regret any of it. Sometimes just after surgery I would sit and think, what have I done? What have I done? And sometimes I do sit there and think, God, I wish I could finish a milkshake, or I'd literally love to eat an entire burger. But that's, again, in the mind. I don't need it. I can't physically consume it. And it's the best thing that I ever did for me. I think I'm going to leave it there, because I don't think I probably should have made notes. If you want a Q&A on this, a blog post, I'll probably write a blog post, be a bit more concise. I hope that some of you, it's kind of answered some of your questions about being this far out of surgery. I don't think about it day to day at all. I just get by, and I eat when I remember to eat, when I get time to eat, and I feel like when I'm ready to get back in the zone, exercise is key to shift this last bit, just for me. And yeah, but I am absolutely spend most of my days with the biggest smile on my face, because I'm able to run around after my little boy, who I don't think would be here if I hadn't have had this. And I feel very lucky that that's how everything turned out from having the surgery. It was a massive risk, and for me it was a lifeline. But I'm gonna go because I'm rambling. I'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching.